Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. First session of the 18th Lok Sabha, that is India's lower house of parliament, begins. Newly elected members take oath. Prime Minister Modi says people want substance, not slogans. Intense heat continues to upend normal life across the globe. Heatwave scorches northern India, US, East Coast and Spain. Deaths during Hajj pilgrimage cross 1,300. UK's Manchester airport resumes flight operations. Sunday's power cut disruption created chaos. India's Srija Akula creates history, becomes the first Indian paddler to win a WTT contender singles title as she beat Ding Yizhi of China. The first session of India's lower house of parliament after the 2024 general elections began on Monday with observance of silence marking the solemn occasion of the first sitting of the 18th Lok Sabha. Prime Minister Narendra Modi took oath as member of the 18th Lok Sabha. This is the third term of Prime Minister Modi as a member of the Lok Sabha. He retained the Varanasi seat in the general elections, which he has been winning since 2014. As leader of the house, he was first one to take oath today. Senior BJP MP Bhartuhari Mehtab, who has been appointed as the pro tem speaker, administered oath to Prime Minister and other newly elected Lok Sabha members. Addressing the media ahead of the session, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that the government will work 3 times harder in its third term. Underlining the 50th anniversary of the emergency, he called the period a blot on democracy.
भारत की लोकतांत्रिक परंपराओं पे निष्ठा रखते हैं, उनके लिए 25 जून न भूलने वाला दिवस है। कल 25 जून को भारत के लोकतंत्र में जो काला धब्बा लगा था, उसके 50 वर्ष हो रहे हैं। भारत की नई पीढ़ी इस बात को कभी नहीं भूलेगी कि भारत के संविधान को पूरी तरह नकार दिया गया था, देश को जेल खाना बना दिया गया था, लोकतंत्र को पूरी तरह दबोच दिया गया था। इमरजेंसी के ये 50 साल इस संकल्प के हैं कि हम गौरव के साथ हमारे संविधान की रक्षा करते हुए भारत के लोकतंत्र लोकतांत्रिक परंपराओं की रक्षा करते हुए देशवासी संकल्प लेंगे कि भारत में फिर कभी कोई ऐसी हिम्मत नहीं करेगा जो 50 साल पहले की गई थी और लोकतंत्र पे काला धब्बा लगा दिया गया था।
Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, on a day-long visit to the UAE on Sunday, met his counterpart Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan in Abu Dhabi. Both the sides held productive and deep conversations on the ever-growing comprehensive strategic partnership. Dr. S. Jaishankar appreciated the discussion and his insights on regional and global issues. He also joined the international yoga enthusiasts at Louvre in Abu Dhabi as they celebrated the International Day of Yoga 2024 in the UAE. Earlier, Dr. S. Jaishankar visited the Babs Hindu Temple in Abu Dhabi. The visit to the first traditional Hindu stone temple in the Middle East underscores the growing cultural and diplomatic ties between India and the UAE. Babs, which stands for Bocha Sanvasi Akshar Purushottam Swami Narayan Sanstha, is a prominent Hindu denomination with a global presence. Dr. S. Jaishankar said that the temple is a visible symbol of India-UAE friendship and also radiates a positive message to the world and is a true cultural bridge between the two countries. India's Minister of External Affairs, Dr. S. Jaishankar, extended greetings on the occasion of the 12th Passport Seva Divas. India's Ministry of External Affairs commended the relentless efforts of the Passport Authority of India for the continuous improvement and innovations implemented in the Passport Seva system, aimed at enhancing the overall user experience and reducing processing times. India's Central Bureau of Investigation is undertaking the investigation in the alleged irregularities in the National Eligibility cum Entrance Test. CBI took over the probe amid the recent backlash against the NTA and the mass outrage against the marking system of the NEET UG examination conducted in May this year. A 7-member committee has also been formed to oversee transparency and look into the functioning of NDA. The committee is led by former ISRO chief Dr. K. Radhakrishnan. The death toll in the Kalakuruchi illicit liquor tragedy in Tamil Nadu rose to 57, the district collector said on Monday. A total of 156 people who fell ill due to the illicit liquor are currently undergoing treatment at various hospitals. The Tamil Nadu government had ordered a judicial inquiry into the tragedy. The inquiry will be led by retired Madras High Court Judge Justice B. Gokuldas. The State Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has also announced an ex gratia payment of Rs 10 lakh to the kin of the deceased and Rs 50,000 each for the persons under treatment. Also, the Indian Met Department has issued a yellow alert for some districts in northern India with heatwave conditions likely in the next 5 days. The department forecast a rise in maximum temperature by about 2 degrees Celsius over most parts of West Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Chandigarh, Punjab and Delhi during the next 3 days. Central India will likely witness a fall in temperatures. IMD issued advisories suggesting people to avoid heat exposure. Indian Army engineers of 3 Shakti Corps constructed a 150 feet suspension bridge in North Sikkim, reconnecting the border villages which got cut off due to continued heavy rainfall. The bridge will also help in facilitating movement of people and provision of relief material to the locals inhabiting the area. The Met Department forecast very heavy to extremely very heavy rainfall over Sikkim, Kerala, West Bengal, Ghat areas of Tamil Nadu, Konkan, Goa, Maharashtra and Karnataka. Flood situation has improved in Assam as the number of flood-affected people has decreased. Over 810 villages, 25 revenue circles are being affected. Over 211 relief camps with 104 relief distribution centers were set up in flood-affected areas. Karimganj has been the most affected region with 100,000 of people still reeling under the impact of floods as the river there flows above the danger mark. Hailstorms and heavy rainfall is expected to batter isolated parts of northeast India. The Indian High Commission in the Canadian capital of Ottawa marked the 39th anniversary of the 1985 Kanishka bombing on Sunday. High Commissioner Sanjay Kumar Verma condoled the deaths of the victims. He said the Kanishka bombing underscores the urgent need for a unified global response to combat terrorism. He added that governments, security agencies and international organizations must work in concert to dismantle terrorist networks, disrupt their financing and counter their ideologies. On June 23, 1985, Air India's Boeing 747 named Kanishka was tragically bombed by Khalistani terrorists, killing all the 329 passengers in one of the deadliest attacks in the history of civil aviation. Let's take a look at other stories making it to the headlines from across India now. In a big decision for the central government employees, the Government of India has amended the Central Civil Services Leave Rules 1972, which will now entitle the surrogate mother and the parents who adopt that child with childcare leave. As per the new changes, if the surrogate is a central government employee, she will be eligible to get 180 days of maternity leave. Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha inaugurated the Lychee Festival and Agriculture Exhibition on Sunday. In his address, the Lieutenant Governor extended his felicitation to farmers and said that welfare and determination to explore new avenues is the main aim of the administration. The city of Kozhikode in North Kerala, known for its rich cultural heritage, was officially declared as India's first UNESCO City of Literature on Sunday. The state government announced that from the coming year, June 23rd will be celebrated as the City of Literature Day of Kozhikode. You're watching DD India Live. We're heading for a short break. But after the break, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says intense fighting against Hamas in Rafah about to end. India would be keen to avenge the loss from the Aussies in the ICC World Cup held in India last year as both sides clash today in the shorter version. The Olympic torch relay winds its way through the Haute-Savoie region in the French Alps.
We just don't bring you the news as it unfolds. We get to the heart of the matter.
We don't just present facts, we demystify complex social, political and economic events.
We break stories that shape the world's present and future because you deserve the truth.
I am Tanvi Taneja from New Delhi.
I'm Ollie Barrett from London.
I'm Nick Harper from Washington, D.C.
Join us on DD India Global Monday to Friday at these times.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Live. Let's get to international updates. Russia's Dagestan began 3 days of mourning after an Orthodox church and a police post were targeted in simultaneous attacks across the cities of Darbent and Makhachkala on Sunday. More than 15 police officers were killed and multiple people were injured in the attack. The governor of the Dagestan region, Sergei Melikov, said that 6 of the gunmen were shot and killed. There was no immediate claim of responsibility for the attacks. 2 churches and 2 synagogues were targeted. These attacks came 3 months after 145 people were killed in a concert hall near Moscow. Several Russian strikes hit Ukraine's eastern city of Kharkiv on Sunday. A person was killed and 10 people were wounded in the attacks. The regional governor, Oleh Senebov, said that a school was hit along with private home where the casualties had occurred. The governor added Russia appeared to have used glide bombs in the attack. Russia has regularly bombed Kharkiv throughout the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Protesters from Germany, Austria and France rallied in southwestern German city of Kaiserslautern, demanding the closure of US airbase. Near 1,000 protesters gathered at the downtown area of Kaiserslautern, delivering speeches and singing peaceful songs. The protesters were demanding the closure of Ramstein Air Base, urging Western countries to pursue peaceful solution through diplomacy to the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Ramstein Air Base plays a critical role in relaying all drone signals for the United States. The International Atomic Energy Agency called on Sunday for a halt to attacks on Enerhoda, a town near Russian-occupied Ukrainian nuclear power station, after drone strikes this week hit electricity substations serving the area. The plant's Russian-installed officials accused Ukraine of staging 2 drone strikes that destroyed 1 substation, damaged another, and cut power to residents for a time. Let's get to updates on Israel-Hamas conflict now, with a stern statement coming in from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He said that the phase of intense fighting against Hamas in Gaza Strip was coming to an end. However, the conflict would not end until the Islamist group no longer controlled the Palestinian enclave. Netanyahu also spelled out his plans once the intense fighting is over in Gaza. Let's listen in.
If there is an agreement, it will be an agreement according to our terms, and our terms are not to end the war, to leave Gaza and leave Hamas as it is. After the intense phase is finished, we will have the possibility to move part of the forces north, and we will do this, first and foremost for defensive purposes, and secondly, to bring our evacuated residents home.
Meanwhile, Israeli tanks pushed further into the southern city of Rafah. More than 8 months into Israel's conflict in the Palestinian enclave, its advance is focused on the two areas its forces have yet to seize, that is Rafah on Gaza's southern tip and the area surrounding Dar e-Bala in the center. The Israeli military said it was continuing intelligence-based targeted operations in the Rafah area and had located weapons, stores and tunnel shafts and killed Palestinian gunmen. The Yemeni Houthi group claimed on Sunday that its forces had attacked 2 ships in the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean. Houthi military spokesman Yahya Saria said that the first ship, Transworld Navigator, had been targeted in the Red Sea using an uncrewed surface boat, which led to direct hit against the ship. The second vessel, Stol Sekoa, was attacked in the Indian Ocean with a number of cruise missiles, he added. Dynamic changes in the weather patterns have gained frequency and point to an alarming situation across the world due to ill effects of climate change. DD India's Antara Sinha gives us an insight.
Extreme weather events have upended normal life in vast swathes across the globe. Excessive heat has millions under warnings in the US and Europe, while torrential rainfall has inundated large parts in China and Europe. From the US East Coast to the West Coast, heat wave has caused people to resort to water fountains for respite. And in Europe, the heat wave is breaking all records. Sicilians were seen grabbing their semi-frozen granita, fanning their heat wave-stricken sunburnt bodies as they tackled the worst heat ever. While Romanians have had various code reds issued over the past days and have been advised to avoid outdoor activities. Summer heat has returned to parts of Spain, prompting a heat alert for the south where temperatures reached 39 degrees Celsius. Adding to the challenges, in California, a swift-moving wildfire that began mid-June took a wild turn overnight, affecting over 12,000 acres of land, prompting immediate evacuations. Coming to Asia, China issued a red alert seeing low temperatures, excessive rainfall and major sandstorms gripping its various regions. While in the southwestern regions, landslides triggered by torrential rains have prompted rescue and evacuations. As parts of US reel under heat, there is a stark contrast in its midwestern state of Iowa, where over 1 million are under flood warnings, with many townships inundated. In Switzerland as well, flash floods clubbed with landslides have affected daily life, causing deaths. Down in East African country Somalia, devastating flash floods transformed streets into waterways. The sudden deluge, residents say, has caused significant damage to properties and infrastructure. India's north, west and parts of south have suffered heat wave, and northeastern state of Assam has been reeling under floods as rivers have swelled up due to incessant rains. Antara Sinha for DD India.
At least 1,301 people have died during Hajj pilgrimage this year. Saudi Arabia authorities said mostly unauthorized pilgrims walked long distances in intense heat. This year's pilgrimage took place during a heat wave with temperatures at times exceeding 50 degrees Celsius. Flights at Manchester Airport resumed after a power cut caused a day of chaos. Up to 90,000 passengers were affected as flights were cancelled and scheduled arrivals diverted. Check-in and departures at Terminal 1 and 2 have now restarted. Officials said further disruption is not expected on Monday and they are working to reschedule cancelled flights and reunite passengers without their bags. A fire broke out at a primary battery manufacturing plant in South Korea on Monday, leaving at least one worker dead. The blaze erupted unexpectedly, prompting an immediate emergency response as firefighters and rescue teams rushed to the scene to contain the fire. All right, on to sports now. Srija Akula became the first Indian paddler to win a WTT contender singles title as she beat Ding Yizhi of China 4-1 in the final in Lagos, Nigeria on Sunday. The India number 2 paddler, along with Archana Kamath, defeated compatriots Diya Chitale and Yashaswini Godpade 3-0 to clinch the women's doubles crown as well. Srija and Archana had won 3-0 against Asian Games bronze medalists Ahika Mukherjee and Sutirtha Mukherjee in the semi-finals. Srija, Archana, Harmeet and Manav are part of the Indian table tennis squad for Paris Olympics, which will be led by Sharat Kamal and Manika Batra. India will take on Australia in the Super 8 clash of T20 World Cup at St. Lucia on Monday. A win for India would jeopardise Australia's chances of reaching the ICC T20 World Cup semi-finals. Rohit Sharma's team is well positioned to advance to the last 4 stage. Men in blue would be keen to avenge the loss from the Aussies in the ICC World Cup held in India last year. Also, Australia finds itself in desperate need of a win after suffering a historic defeat to Afghanistan. Kuldeep Yadav, India's top spinner over the past year, was benched during the league stage in the US due to conditions in New York. However, he was anticipated to shine on the spin-friendly Caribbean tracks, and he's doing just that in the Super 8 stage. Up next, Tapas Bhattacharya gets us more details.
After patiently waiting in the wings during the group stages, Kuldeep Yadav has once again proven himself as India's Super 8 specialist. In a dominant performance against Bangladesh in Antigua, Kuldeep took 3 for 19, leading India to a comprehensive victory. Kuldeep's impressive form continues, adding to his 2 for 32 against Afghanistan in Barbados. He has now claimed 5 wickets across India's 2 Super 8 matches. This strategic decision to hold Kuldeep back for the Caribbean leg of the tournament paid off for India, as the pitches here are more suited to his Chinaman bowling style. While Kuldeep was eager to play in the group stages, he understood the plan, returning to the island where he made his white ball debut for India during the 2017 West Indies tour. His experience and skill were crucial for India to go ahead. Kuldeep's stats speak for themselves. With 64 T20 international wickets at an average of 13.79 from 37 games and an economy rate of 6.72, he is a force to reckon with. In this T20 World Cup, he has already claimed 5 wickets at an impressive average of 10.20 with an economy rate of 6.37. As the tournament progresses, Kuldeep Yadav's performance will undoubtedly be a key factor in India's quest for glory. With camera person Shankar, this is Tapas Bhattacharya for DD India from St. Lucia.
The Olympic torch relay marks Olympic Day by winding its way through the hot Savoy region in the French Alps on Sunday. Torch bearers carried the Olympic flame on foot, boat and crane from the commune of Evian-les-Bains to Chamonix-Mont-Blanc, where the first Winter Olympics were hosted 100 years ago in 1924. All right, that's it in this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. And for those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR codes on your screens now to download. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us at India, thanks for watching DD India Live.